So, what is going on with Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo? If we're not mistaken, the fight's supposed to be tomorrow. Now, obviously, it's not going to be tomorrow. We know coronavirus has put paid to that. But it does make you realise how quickly this has come round. Now, the idea was him to fight the 2nd of May, what would be tomorrow. And then after that, he would be fighting, this is Canelo I'm talking about, would be fighting Triple G about September time. Now, given the fact that Billy Joe Saunders' fight has been pushed back, what is going to happen to the Billy Joe Saunders fight? Are they going to just go straight ahead and fight Triple G? Are they going to go a different route, or are they going to stick to the original fight and fight Billy Joe Saunders? Now, obviously, Billy Joe Saunders himself has found himself in some hot water over the last few weeks, but in terms of the fight itself, there's not been a massive amount said about it. There was a bit said about back in March when these measures first got put into place, saying, "Oh well, don't worry about it; it will get sorted out." But since then, it's been radio silence, and with boxing possibly on hold until the back end of this year, if not next year, this fight could be dead and buried. And if it is, I think this is very bad for Billy Joe. Billy Joe, for me, I don't think has massively long left in this game. I really don't. I don't know why. I just feel like you can see the hunger leaving him. I don't think he is in the sort of shape or the mindset he was in back when he was a couple of years ago, for like around the Lemieux time. And to be honest with you, I remember there was an interview with Ingle, and Ingle said that he ideally would have Billy Joe campaigning at 154 pounds, 160 tops, and no higher than that at all. Obviously now Billy Joe Saunders is campaigning at 168, which is obviously a £14 difference to the fighting weight that Ingle wanted him to be fighting at. So it shows you how seriously Billy Joe's taking the sport. And obviously he did get that sort of easy fight against Isufi to get the vacant title, but the case still remains for me that I don't think Billy Joe Saunders is hungry. I will be surprised if he unifies. I don't think we're going to see him in against the Plant Benavidez winner, which I think will be Benavidez, nor do I envision him fighting Smith. I don't think Smith is a particularly good fighter himself. I think probably Benavidez is probably the best in the division, but I don't foresee any unifications happening. So it makes you wonder, if this fight doesn't happen, what happens? Does Billy Joe Saunders go off the rails? Does he not fight again for a year? Does he get stripped? I don't know. It's a very strange one, because Billy Joe Saunders has put all of his eggs in this basket now. All of the eggs in this basket. And if it doesn't come off, he's in some serious trouble. I mean, what does he do then? Who does he fight? Yeah, and as I say, to me this looks like a cash out anyway. I don't think the hunger's there. I think this is just him selling his belt, to be honest with you. I actually think it's the more interesting fight out of potentially Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez, or fighting Smith. For Canelo, I would actually rather the Billy Joe fight, because I think there's a little bit more intrigue there. I think Smith is just big and a bit of a weight bully, but I don't think he's particularly quick. I don't think he hits particularly hard. I don't think he has particularly good movement. I think he's just very average, but very, very big for the weight. So he's just a bit of a weight bully, but I think against an elite boxer in Canelo, I think he'd get picked to pieces. I think it would just be a slightly more elongated version of the Rocky Fielding fight, to be completely honest with you. I really don't foresee Canelo having too many problems with Smith, actually, if I'm honest. The more I see of Smith, anyway. But the Billy Joe Saunders fight, I think there is intrigue there. You've obviously got Billy Joe, a slick southpaw, against Canelo Alvarez, the sort of stocky, orthodox fighter. Now, again, I think Canelo is a massive favourite. I think he probably wins fairly handily. Even if it's competitive, Billy Joe Saunders is never winning, and Billy Joe is not knocking Canelo out. So, as I said, I think this is just the belt being sold, but will we see it even happen? I'm not sure. It's a bit of a weird one, and if it doesn't happen, as I say, I can see Billy Joe just self-destructing, to be honest. I think he either sells this belt and goes off into the sunset and just sails off, or he self-destructs if he doesn't get this fight. I'll be honest, this is the only two ways I can see Billy Joe Saunders' career going at this point. Because, I mean, how old is he now? Like, 30? Something like that? And he's been around a while, and he's been very inactive of recent. And obviously he's had the drug problems with the drug ban, so I don't know. I don't think it's looking too good for Billy Joe Saunders. In fact, I think if the longer it goes on, the more that this Eubank rematch could well happen, and the more you might actually start to favour Eubank along the stretch if Billy Joe doesn't seem to get his head straight. So, yeah, let me know what you think, and take care.